Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Circle of Success Mastermind session. This month, you're in for another treat. Today, we're joined by Julie McManus, and Julie is the founder of Peak Pure and Natural, a company that's dedicated to helping its customers live a healthy and active lifestyle using their own high-quality natural products. Julie's a direct marketing pro herself. She's been working in the business for over 25 years in both health and finance. She's sold books, supplements, reports, financial services even that generated $100 million in sale. She's managed and worked in all facets of the industry, on the client and the provider side, and runs her own marketing agency since 2005. Today, Julie is going to show you how to grow your own copywriting business. She's going to share with you the kinds of copy not only that she needs on a regular basis, but most clients need, copy that helps clients market products successfully. I will tell you one of the small skills she has that has served her well in her growing enterprise of Peak Pure and Natural is she defines herself, besides being a marketer, she's also a certified master copy-paste professional, and all copywriters can relate to that. So with that, Julie, our thanks for joining us today. Our great pleasure to have you with us. And now I'll turn the mic over to you.
Oh, thank you, Denise. Thanks. And that's really a little joke, but it does actually come in handy, copy-pasting, and I'm going to show you why. So today we're going to talk about short health copy, or short copy in general that clients need constantly and lots of. So that's ultimately the goal, is to demonstrate for you some of the different types of copy beyond long copy that I think everybody is so used to seeing and may aspire to, so that you can understand other ways to get in with clients besides just feeling like you have to commit to really long types of marketing copy. So first of all, not everybody can write long copy. Not everyone is seasoned enough or has the experience enough to write successful long copy formats. So when you go to boot camp and you listen to the presentations by some of the obviously top writers in the space, a lot of times what you see are their long copy format. And I'll show you some examples of what I mean, and I'm going to actually give you some links to copy. So as you go through this presentation, after the fact, you'll be able to actually look at those pieces of copy, study them, understand what they are, and how they might be utilized in, on a daily basis for a marketer. But so often what I find happens is that those copywriters who can write long copy, the Carleen Coles or Clayton Makepeaces of the world, a lot of writers really look up to those copywriters because that is a really hard, difficult format to write. It takes a significant amount of time. Most of the time, those writers, only book a certain number of projects in a year. They book often a year ahead of time or in the last half of the year. And so they can only write so much in that time frame. So those projects obviously command high dollars. But the thing about them is that most clients only need a few a year, depending on what they might have going on. So again, looking at this from the perspective of not only health, but perhaps finance or internet marketing or wealth building, the idea is that, depending on what you've planned for the year in terms of product launches and so forth, is really going to dictate how much long copy you need. And it's a finite number because you really can only do so much in a year's time. So what happens is that short copy actually becomes the engine that drives the marketing and sales and revenue for a business for the year. So I really personally might only need, say, 2 or 3 long copy pieces written But from those long copy pieces, I can create volume of short copy that I can use in multiple ways to market my business and to market my product, or if in the case of financial or internet marketing, let's say, it allows you lots of different options and lots of different channels that you can market into. So it can really, a long copy promo can provide hundreds of opportunities for short copy messaging. And so for every one long copy job, you know, there's hundreds of short copy projects. And in a previous boot camp, and I've known Clayton for a really long time, he called it collateral copy, which is really not a very sexy way to think of it, but it really is, from my perspective as a marketer, my bread and butter. So it's something that is desperately needed, and if a writer understands what a client is asking for, there's really a lot of opportunity for work writing shorter collateral copy. So I want to talk about, this is me, I want to talk about a few terms just to know before we start, and many of you may already, you know, be aware of these terms, but I think it's good to go back over them just so you understand when you talk to clients that say, I need an acquisition piece, or I need a retention campaign, or I want something to cross-sell, that you understand exactly what they're asking you for. So obviously, an acquisition is acquiring a customer for the first time. Long copy is typically how that's done in the health space that, of course, that I work in, or maybe even in a lot of the financial space that some of you also may have had some experience with. So retention is when we want to retain or resell the same product to an existing customer that we've already acquired. And that's really where most companies make their money. They spend their money on acquisition, but they make their money in retention. Cross-sell is selling an existing customer something different than what they bought the first time. So if today I bought a product to help control my blood pressure, at the same time I might want to purchase a product like a CoQ10 or a fish oil or something that also helps to support heart health in addition to that blood pressure product. An upsell is selling a customer more than they originally intended to purchase. So if I buy 3 bottles today and then perhaps I see an offer that says, well, you know, you can buy 6 bottles and instead of paying $19 a bottle, you can get those 6 bottles for $14 a bottle. That would be a great example of trying to upsell a customer. House file is a list of your own customers. So these are customers you've acquired, you've paid to acquire. Typically, it could be either through direct mail, through email, maybe through print media and newspapers or radio, television. I mean, there's multiple ways to generate a house file, but those are your existing customers. And again, house file and retention and having that are really the ways that companies make money. So once they've acquired, they've spent money to acquire, they use their house file, they use their retention offers to continue to sell to those products to those customers and continue to make money. So you'll hear that often. You know, you'll hear from business owners and marketers that the money's really on the back end, and that's what that means. That means that most businesses cannot succeed if they just do acquisition over and over again. If at some point they don't stop and focus on their existing house file customers and try to retain them, that company is, you know, pretty well doomed or doomed to just kind of limp along. Third party is another company from which you could buy media or traffic. So that could be a company that's doing something similar, you know, to you. It could be somebody who's publishing content in a similar area, you know, say natural health. It might be like a natural health website that has lots of great content that they publish on a regular basis, but then they sell ad media into it. A JV partner is another company that's similar to yours, so which means that in my case, having a nutritional supplement company, I might reach out to a friend that also has another nutritional supplement company or perhaps a publishing company that sells books on natural health and try to do some sort of a marketing exchange where I might actually run an offer for them in exchange for them running my offer. And then bonding is another big one that I think a lot of marketers really don't pay a lot of attention to, but I find it to be very important. And that's really attempting to establish brand recognition or a relationship with a customer or prospect. So I tell you this because as we go through this presentation, I'm going to show you examples of ways to reach each of these different types of categories of people or offers, and show you actual pieces that we use and that we have had written for us in the past.
That's a great, quick definition, but it's so much more useful, Julie, because you're putting it in context. I just got a chat from somebody saying, this is great. So you're on slide 1 and you're making an impact.
Thank you, thank you. And it's hard. I'm in a room by myself and I can't, I can't see anybody. So yeah, and if anybody has any questions about, any of these specifically, definitely let me know. But I'm gonna break it down for you so you'll be able to see what I mean by each of these things. So that's why I felt, it's important to get it right up front. Okay, here we go. So this is a promo. It is a direct mail piece. It is a 32-page Slim Jim. The whole Slim Jim PDF is here for you in this link. So at some time now or in the future, if you want to click it, you can actually see the piece. So this is what I mean by long copy. This is a piece that is mailed by the hundreds of thousands to prospects to try to engage them and interest them in ordering this product, which is Peak BP Platinum, which is a blood pressure product. This package was written for us by Carlene Cole, and as you can see and as you look at it, I'm sure many of you have lots of experience and have been through various aspects of writing this type of copy. You'll see all the most important elements that any copywriter who writes long copy will try to build into this piece. So I'm not going to go through that because that's not why we're here today. What we're here today is to look at this as a starting point. So you're lucky enough to pick up a job, let's say, from somebody who has a long copy promotion like this, that has been written by, let's just say, a superstar like Carlene. So what you've got in your hands is a roadmap and lots of amazing information and tidbits that you can use to then develop short copy. So I will encourage you to take some time and, take a look at it as you can, and then as you go back through, because I think that what you'll do is you'll make the connection between this piece and then the pieces that I'm going to show you from here. But this is our, this is our rock. This is in the center of the center stage, and this is what we're going to work from. So we're talking about short copy here. We're talking about different types of projects that you can get from clients based on really, I would say, different skill sets that you may have as an individual. And that's what I love about marketing copy and being able to work with a piece of copy like I just showed you before, because within each piece of copy, there are lots of needs for shorter copy and for different types of copy. So the first piece that's in most, very, very many, and a lot of companies do it. I think some companies are trying to test out of it, but many people offer bonus reports. So these are really offered as a way to sweeten the deal. Because if I want to sell you a blood pressure supplement, then I want to educate you. I want you to know after you've bought that product all kinds of other interesting facts about why alternative medicine is important to you, why natural health is important to you, why individual ingredients that might be featured in the product would be important to you. And so that because by being more educated, my customers then are more likely to buy from me again in the future. So normally in a long copy promotion, an acquisition promotion, we'll offer, 2, 3, 4 different bonus editorial bonus reports that are on various different topics that all relate either to the specific product that they're buying, or they also could relate in some degrees, or 1 or 2, let's say, to something that we also might want them to buy in the future. So again, thinking ahead, okay, if we want this customer to buy a BP product, what might we want them to buy next? And we can use that goal to build that into this piece right here, this bonus report. So again, they're offered as a way to entice the customer that's value added. Here are these things in addition to the product that you're going to buy that you're going to get for free. And these all have to be written. They're typically 8 to 12 pages of copy. There's a link here to this particular one, so you can see exactly what it looks like, exactly what's in it. And each of these little bullet points that you see, like the green leafy vegetable that eases arthritis, the yummy seeds that help you eliminate body fat, these are called fascinations, which I'm sure you're familiar with, but I call them, or we call them, promises when it comes to writing a bonus report, because what will happen is a writer will write this description. So when I get copy, raw copy, non-laid out raw copy, the writer will have pretty much dictated in a description what they want these bonus reports to contain and how to meet the promises that they've made in the fascinations. So that's kind of really important, because if we publish this this Slim Jim, this acquisition promotion, and we mail it, and we have customers that then turn around and order this product from us and they expect to receive these bonus reports, then we better make darn well sure that what we've promised, the information that we've promised, is actually in that bonus report, or we hear from them and they're not always happy. So we have to make really sure that we follow this roadmap that the writer has created for us. So they are written in an editorial style. So this is not necessarily marketing copy. It can be somewhat advertorial in nature, but we try not to out and out offer or advertise, let's say, another product that we want to sell them. What we want to do is we want to educate them so that when they do see that other product promotion, they're like, hey, wait a minute, I remember that. I read about that resveratrol, let's say, in that thing I got when I ordered BP. So they're making that, so there's sort of like that, make that connection to that piece of material that we sent them. So this is really great for writers that have experience writing articles, manuals, even writers who have written business-to-business copy, because this doesn't necessarily require a strong grasp of writing persuasive marketing copy. It requires conveying an idea. It requires research and answering the promise that was made in the promotion itself. So when I get this piece, this copy, I want an answer to what is the green leafy vegetable that eases arthritis, and I want to know why. So ultimately, this is a really good way for a newer writer that perhaps has come from a more editorial background to get more involved in the marketing process. And usually, like I said, there's 3 to 4 of these in every long copy promo or direct mail promo that is written for, again, for companies who continue to use this tool. And I like bonus reports as a tool because, again, some companies have looked to try to eliminate the expense, but I really feel like it's it's a wasted opportunity when you don't have them, because like I said, the opportunity here with these pieces is to educate your new customer on other things that they should be thinking about, other things that are important to them. So, you know, in this case, it's perhaps they've bought a BP product, and like I said, we're talking about heart-friendly superfoods. Well, we actually also have a product called resveratrol plus superfruit. So we also have a green superfood drink. So within this piece, we've essentially educated them on why they might want one of these other products without actually pitching it to them. And then, like I mentioned, it meets the promises made in the original description. So another good example might be, like, let's say from a financial standpoint, you know, a bonus report or a research report or a guide of some sort is something that allows that person to, you know, that company to acquire, say, a low-price customer at, say, $59 a year, but then tease them in a research report or a guide, you know, an investment guide about some other higher price service that has even better returns that the customer then should ultimately be interested in. So when they market that service to that customer, they're already aware that it exists. They already have an idea in their mind that, hey, you know what, this sounds like something I might like. So you've almost pre-sold them on the idea. All right. Then from there, that promotion, that long copy acquisition promotion that I showed you in the beginning from Carlene, will get turned into a landing page, so it can be used online. We take that copy, we edit it to somewhat. It's, you know, they tend to be really long, and so we tend to try to edit them a little bit down for the internet, but not too much. Again, you want to make sure that all the most important aspects of the persuasiveness of a direct mail promo is picked up and transferred into a online version, and that's obviously called a landing page, and this is a hard offer. So the landing page is the online version of the direct mail long copy promotion, and a hard offer simply asks for the sale immediately. So you would read this piece, purchase, and check out directly from this page. So this is all written copy. Obviously, you read it, but another way that this might be presented, and I know you guys probably see a lot of them, and you see a lot of examples of them in boot camp, and maybe some of you already work on VSLs, but, you know, video sales letter or animated whiteboard pieces are all types of landing pages that can be created from that original direct mail promo copy that was written. So it can all be tailored to either be in this format, or, you know, a format that you read, a format that perhaps looks more like a true website with navigation, a video sales letter where it can be slides or running like a PowerPoint presentation, or even a whiteboard animation where somebody is actually drawing the characters and the copy is running on the screen at the same time. So lots of uses there, but this is just a basic, and this link will take you to this particular page so you can see how it's laid out. All right. The next piece of copy is called a lead gen squeeze page. So in the previous slide, we talked about hard offer, where somebody actually, you're asking for the sale. Okay, here's what I have to offer. I've laid it all out on the table. This is what you're going to get, and this is what it's going to cost. Check out now, and I'll send it to you. That's a hard offer. A soft offer actually asks them for a lead or tries to generate a lead ahead of time. So online, it's very common to see someone marketing a product, but they're trying to collect an email address first prior to showing them what they have available. So they might do it under the guise of a free report, kind of like a bonus report. They might tease and have fascinations and pull promises out of the direct mail promo, and then try to get someone interested in actually reading the full promo. Some marketers may actually deliver a white paper or a bonus report of some report, a guide of some report, a book. For me, I've always found in the nutritional space that the most direct path to showing somebody the hard offer works the best. So the way that I like to do this is tease them on why they need to read the report. The report is ultimately the landing page that I showed you in the previous version. And as soon as I capture their email address, put them on that page so they can read it immediately. You know, time is of the essence. A lot of times some marketers will say, oh, no, not too much email. Don't send them anything too quickly, too fast, too much. I have never found that to be the best approach. I have always found the best approach is ask for what you want, get it, send them what you've promised them, and then if they don't do anything, if they don't respond immediately, send them 3 or 4 quick follow-ups, and if they don't purchase from there, then retool. So, but what this does is this sort of pre-sells them on reading the landing page copy or that long copy that we talked about, and it also allows the marketer to continue to contact that prospect, you know, that doesn't purchase immediately. So when you try to sell somebody through a hard offer, it's kind of a one and done. I show it to you. If you don't like it, you either delete it, you might throw it in the garbage if it's a print piece, but you move on with your life. With a soft offer, I have your email address. So guess what? You're going to keep hearing from me, and as long as you let me send email to you. And that's really great because you get multiple opportunities to try to either sell the customer the product that they were initially interested in the first place, which is blood pressure support in this case, or perhaps at some point down the line after you've said, well, it doesn't look like they're going to buy this blood pressure product, I'm going to switch them over and try to sell them this perhaps related product. Maybe it's cardiovascular support or something that's related. So this is a great way to do that. But all this piece is just a relative summary of all the best points from that original Slim Jim that was the second slide that Carlene wrote. So you have that here and you can see. So if you do go through and you read the original Slim Jim and then you start to read the pieces, you're going to see and connect the theme across all the pieces and see where they were pulled from. Now, after you've collected that email address, you have to, you absolutely, like I said, you want to send them something quickly. And so what I like to do, and many marketers do, is we'll set up an email autoresponder series. You might hear them as a gauntlet series. There's multiple different types of email series out there, but this is essentially something to introduce your brand to the prospect. Remember, this is a prospect, not a customer. They have not bought from you yet. So this is a welcome email. This welcome email tells you, tells them essentially what's going to happen. It introduces them to something that you're going to send them in the future. It explains that they've opted in and establishes an expectation in terms of how much they might hear from you, which is really important, because one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to say, oh, I'm going to send you something once a week, and then all of a sudden they're getting something every day. You really should be open and honest and tell them kind of what to expect from you, and you'll keep them longer. You'll have a higher quality of prospect, and that's important because it's easy to generate large files of leads, but it's much different and harder to generate small, tight files of qualified leads. And the way you do that is being honest and explaining, you know, what to expect from you. The other thing that this piece does is this is essentially the first thing they get after they've given you the email address in email. So it establishes, one, that they gave you an accurate email address that's real. It's able to be delivered, so they're a real person for the most part. But it attempts to get the prospect to click back to that landing page that I showed you. So again, pushing them from here. Please take a moment right now to read your free health report, the end of high blood pressure, and then it tells them what, what to expect. Denise, did you have something? Okay.
Nope, nothing yet. We've got a question in the queue, but we can wait.
Okay, no problem. I just heard it crackle, so I wasn't sure if you were trying to jump in. So these AR series, autoresponder series, they can deliver as many emails as you want to send. But what's important is to set specific goals. So in the case of a soft offer, really the goal should be to sell them what's in the hard offer. So in this case, I have promised them a report on how to end high blood pressure, and then ultimately in that report, how to end high blood pressure is a pitch for a blood pressure product. So before you generate, dozens of different email versions of copy, you really kind of want to map out what your goals are as far as that goes. But again, these are short pieces of copy that are all being taken from that long copy promotion that I showed you at the very beginning. Typically, after I've sent them a welcome email, I will then send them a hard offer email. So, same goal, get them back onto that landing page so they see that offer. Because we can't, with email, we can't assume that one and done is really going to get the job done. It really does take a multitude of different messaging to reach the prospect, and one may love the welcome email and think, oh, this is great, I love this messaging, and I love that they're taking the time to tell me what's going on or what's going to happen or welcome me to the club, let's say. And another may respond more to a more editorial or advertorial approach. Another may respond to a very hard-hitting marketing approach, copy approach. So it really takes a mix of different emails to get that job done. So this hard offer email continues the bonding with the prospect through the consistent branding. Again, you see it carry through. And then it summarizes and resells the messaging in the landing page so that the product, again, is top of mind. So as you read the landing page copy or the original Slim Jim copy, you'll see a lot of the finer points summarized in these shorter emails that go out. And again, it creates a compelling reason for the prospect to click back to that hard offer landing page to purchase. And these things go out pretty quickly, one after the other, day one, day two, day three, not day 1, day 7, day 14, day 21, because by day 21, the customer's like, what? The prospect's like, I don't remember this. So you want to send them out, boom, 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 right while it's fresh on their mind. Oh, I remember that. I requested that report. I need to read that. I'm going to set that aside. And then they set it aside and forget about it. And then, boom, 24 hours later, they're getting another message where they're going, oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that. I need to read that thing. And then maybe that's the time that they read it. So another format that works really great, not only as part of an autoresponder series, but as part of an ongoing effort, is an e-newsletter. Now, I know everybody that's listening today is familiar with what an e-newsletter is and what is involved in terms of that. Now, an e-newsletter obviously is educational content, typically sent a couple of times a week, and it can work really well to softly resell product benefits or to softly sell product in general. So, typically it takes an editorial format with research. It's like reading, an article in a newspaper perhaps, but it's something that is meant to educate and generate interest in perhaps an ingredient. This one happens to be about K2, which is an ingredient that's in our product P-Cardio Platinum. And it talks all about why you should consider taking K2. It doesn't say, buy K2 now, get this product now. It doesn't have that feel. It has that very sort of soft, engaging, interesting feel and reason as to why or what this ingredient K2 can do for you, which it also happens to be in this product P-Cardio Platinum. So I'm sure you can see the sort of connection there. These work very well. They don't sell hundreds and hundreds of products at a time, but they sell, you know, dozens, and it reaches a person who perhaps doesn't respond to more hard-hitting marketing copy because it, you know, it takes that sort of more editorial approach. And again, another thing that's really, really great for somebody who's coming from that world, somebody who's coming from writing for magazines or coming from writing for newspapers or who's, you know, used to writing in this style. This is another excellent in with a publisher that needs this kind of content. I mean, this goes out for me 2 to 3 days every week, and my one goal is that it somehow ties one of our products into the mix enough where we can say, oh, hey, you know, you can get this benefit in this product. You can get this ingredient in this product. Or I take this product and I like it because it does this for me. It's very friendly. It's a bonding opportunity. Acts as a way to bond with the customer and the prospect, and it helps keep again the brand top of mind. Oh, you know, I just remembered I wanted to order that Peak BP Platinum. I'm gonna do that right now. That's a reminder. And it creates a reason to continue a dialogue and an excuse to send email and offers to your customers and prospects. So remember back when we looked at the welcome email, see if I can get back there. There it was. I'm pretty much telling them, welcome. You should begin seeing issues of our newsletter, Virginia's Health Kick, in your inbox soon. Well, there it is. There's their issue. So we told them ahead of time that they were going to get this. And like I said, it can help tie a benefit directly to a product without it being a hard sell. And people buy from people they like. So ultimately, the approach we take is very much a story approach. Our founder, we weave stories about our founder's family, our founder's friends, something that may have happened to our founder, just anything that can create an engaging dialogue and create that, you know, that friendship between the writer and the reader. So the other aspect of particularly online, because a lot of what you'll create from a direct mail promo will ultimately be for an online use, are traffic drivers. So everything we talked about previously is what happens after somebody hits the page. They've gotten there somehow, mystery, it's magic. They've gotten to that page somehow. They've taken the action that we wanted. Either they bought the product or they gave us an email and told us we can send more email to them. But everything that I showed you happened after the fact. So we sent them a welcome email that says, hey, thanks a lot. We really are glad you're here. Here's what you're going to get. We sent them an email that was more specifically hard-hitting, marketing, persuasive copy to say, hey, you know, we sent you this free report and it's this really great product and this is what it's going to do for you. You really should take the time to read it now. We sent them a newsletter that takes that, like I said, that more editorial approach about why, you know, this ingredient that's in that product is important to them and what it can do for them. And, oh, hey, by the way, you already know the product because you requested information on it already. Here's what it is. And, you know, it's those different approaches. But this is how this piece is typically sent by a third party. So remember, we back at the very beginning, we talked about third party or JV partners. That means that somebody is sending it on your behalf. It could be Google. It could be, you know, a Facebook. It could be some ad network. It could be a publisher who publishes content with advertising and marketing built into it, or has an email list that they then send emails on behalf of other companies. But that's typically third party. So this is an example of an email. So this may go, like, say, to a company that has a list of email prospects of people who are interested in blood pressure, cardiovascular, alternative medicine, natural health. Maybe they bought a book on cardiovascular health. There's myriads of different ways that you can find third-party opportunities to market. So this, again, this creates a compelling reason for the prospect to request the information promoted. So what it's saying is, hey, you have this problem. Maybe you're not aware of it, but it's there, and here's why. And I have a solution, and it's a proven solution, and here's why. I want to send you some more information on that solution. It's based on tons and tons of research. If you just click this link, then you can give me the information and I'll send it to you. So you can see the difference being, I don't know I want this. This isn't something that I just, you know, I read this email, it landed in my inbox, and I'm like, huh, this, you know, looks interesting. I have this blood pressure, I have high blood pressure, let's say. Maybe this is impacting me. Maybe this can help me. I wasn't really aware that I wanted this, or when I woke up this morning, it wasn't something that was like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, go look for some information on blood pressure. Just kind of happened that way. So this is offering something, you know, this is meant to be compelling. It's meant to really drive a response from the person that's reading it. Grab them by the eyeballs, as they say, get them to read it, get them to take the action, and then after they've taken the action, then it comes from a different perspective of, hey, you know, you're already interested in this, you asked for this. Now I'm fulfilling what you asked for. So it's two sides of the equation. And this type of email content, this type of email copy is creating a compelling reason for the prospect to request the information that you want to send them. And this will typically link directly to that lead generation squeeze page that, that I showed you a couple slides previous. Now, email is only one way. There's banner ads and text ads, which I'm sure everyone here is familiar with and seen millions of times all over the internet. So you got your banner ads, you know, up at the top. Worse for your blood pressure than cholesterol is this hidden artery clogger driving up your blood pressure. Click here to lower it now. That's one, you know, clearly a banner, or it could be considered a native ad these days. Or you can see below a text, you know, more of a text-based unit. But these, both of the goals of these is for the person to click to request the information from the lead gen squeeze page. And hopefully you're starting to see the various different ways of short copy that companies need and why. Because really what happens is I can name one product that has been marketed consistently by me for probably 10 years, and it continues to work. It was written by Clayton Makepeace originally. It is a unicorn. It's very, very rare to have copy consistently work over and over and over and over again, because what happens is it becomes seen and people see it over and over again, and it becomes fatigued, and therefore you have to start to look to come at it in different ways. And that's why all of these short pieces of copy are so important because it's volume. As soon as this worse for your blood pressure than cholesterol native ad or banner ad starts to fatigue, I may want 5 or 6 of them to replace and test and see if I can find one that works better than that. So again, that's a volume situation, all from that one promotion. Traffic drivers, social media posts. So again, these are marketing pieces. They are specifically to get the prospect to click and then to get the prospect to take an action. In this case, give us an email address so that we can then start that process of trying to send them the hard offer and get them to respond to the hard offer. So Pinterest infographic on the left, Facebook post on the right, both marketing copy. So we've been through acquisition and lead generation. So acquisition is acquiring a customer for the first time. Lead generation, acquiring a lead or a prospect, so not a customer, a lead or a prospect with the goal of hopefully turning them into a customer. So now we're going to talk about what happens when they are a customer. So one of those efforts that I showed you previously have worked. Somebody was like, hey, this sounds great, and they've ordered the product. Then what? Well, we will continue to do acquisition, but then we will take that new customer and we will put them into a retention or a reorder offer or a reorder campaign, and which is essentially saying, hey, I know you just bought this, but you're going to love it, so you need to buy, you should probably consider buying some more. And so a retention or reorder offer attempts to sell the customer the same thing they bought the first time around or the second time around or the third, and it's an offer to reorder the product that they purchased. And these types of efforts, now you might think, okay, well, you know, I just bought that product, and so I know what's involved, and I was interested in it, and I know what it's supposed to do for me. But the reality is people are busy, people forget. They forget why they buy things. You know, they don't take them like they're supposed to. They don't derive the benefits because they don't follow the directions. All different kinds of things happen. So anytime you do any kind of retention where you're trying to sell the customer again on buying the same product that they purchased originally, you have to resell the benefits for the product and why they should keep taking it. So that's very important. You can't just send them a postcard and say, hey, peak BP, you know, 50% off. I mean, you can, but for the most part, when, especially early on, you know, you want to reassure them that they made the right choice. And so that's why we always, in retention, try to resell them on the same information that we use to acquire them. And that's, again, going all the way back to the beginning of that acquisition promotion that I showed you. We can take all the finer points, all the bullet points, all the persuasive copy, and boil it down to something that says, hey, I know you just got this. I know you're excited to take it. Maybe you've already started to derive some benefits, but remember, you know, if you have this problem, then here's why you should continue taking it, and here's what you can expect to happen. So they also will typically offer a discount or a special offer that's better than what the customer paid originally. So if they paid, you know, if they got buy 3 bottles, get 1 free, maybe the retention offer is buy 3 bottles but get 25% off the total price. Or this one happens to be save an extra $20 off 3 or 6 bottle offers. Again, because if I bought 1 bottle, I definitely want to try to get that customer to buy 3, or if they bought 3, I definitely want to try to get that customer to come in and buy 6 more. And so that's specifically what this does. It's we do both. We send these both by email and actual direct mail. So this is not only an email, but it is a print piece, and we'll time them. So if somebody buys 4 bottles to start, then around day 90, we're going to start selling. We're going to start sending them or emailing them an offer like this, which is essentially, hey, you might be ready to run out, and so here's why you should consider buying this product again. I did talk about a little bit, so also another way to retain customers or to cross-sell them or get them interested in other products is to create multiple product sale postcards, brochures, flyers, things that ultimately introduce them to other products in the product line, and to give them discounts to do that. The other thing that companies like mine and many companies need they need product page descriptions. So we have a website that contains all of our products and contains pretty short, compliant descriptions of all of our products, but we add new products all the time. So there is always a need for someone to write short product page copy as well. And then we're ultimately coming to the end of the presentation, but hopefully through this you've seen, from one piece of copy, multiple pieces of short copy that can be, that is needed and in volume. But, it also includes catalogs, it could include books, white papers. There's just all different types of formats for that copy that can be used. And the great thing about that is it gives you the opportunity to work with someone's copy that is able to and does have the experience to write that very long copy promotion, and gives you the ability to become intimately involved in it enough to pick out all the finer points that you can then include in these shorter pieces of copy that clients need on an ongoing basis. So like I said at the very beginning, I might need 2 or 3 long pieces, 32 pieces, 32 pages, 40 pages, magalogs, Slim Jim, digest, various long copy direct mail promotions, but I can use dozens and dozens of various different types of pieces of copy like I showed you over a month's time. So for somebody who's familiar with the language and familiar with the marketing programs that are being run by the businesses that you aspire to work with, you can then go into that principal, that person, the marketing director, and have a educated conversation in which that person can say to you, well, I would really like to take this and create a lead generation campaign with an autoresponder series to try to get them to buy this product. And you can say to them, okay, I know exactly what you want. I know exactly what you need. And you can have that conversation, and more times than not, just the confidence that you can exude will have that marketing director give you that chance to do that. But if the marketing director says to you, oh, well, I want this, lead generation campaign, and you're like, what's a lead generation? Or you're not familiar, it's going to make it really harder to make those inroads with those companies, because everybody's busy. Every marketing director is busy, business owners are busy, marketing officers are busy, and so it's really hard for them to be employer and educator at the same time. So that really, summarizes a lot of different opportunities in and above some of the long copies that you guys may aspire to over the long run.
This is terrific stuff, Julie. Needless to say, we do have some questions. The first one is, can you go back to slide 8 about autoresponders?
I can.
There it is. Next one, I think. No, the next one. Oh, no, this is the one. That is correct. Sorry, I misled you.
That's okay.
Go back.
Okay, that one?
Yes. Regarding setting goals for autoresponders, how do you set them? How often do you send out autoresponders?
Well, so when you set goals for autoresponders, so think about goals for autoresponders being, I like to start from the end. And so what do I want to happen in the end? So in the case of lead generation, I want them to buy the product ultimately. And if they don't buy the product, then I should define what I want them to do next. So sort of reverse engineering that, I also know that I can send them a hard offer, I can send them an email, and you guys get them. I mean, you get them from AWAI. You know, you get emails that say, hey, here's this great program that, we have available for you, and if you click this link, you can sign up, and you pay your fee, and now you have access to all this great information that they publish for you on a daily basis, on a regular basis. But that's a one shot. So if I don't have any way to contact you, then I sort of lose that opportunity. It's sort of like a one and done, So by doing lead generation per se, that first and foremost, my goal is to capture the email address so that I can communicate with that prospect until I have hammered them over the head and they've bought one of my products. So by setting goals, that's what I mean by that. You want to look at what is the big picture, what do you hope to attain? I'm working on a campaign right now, so I'll take it in a different direction. I'm working on a campaign right now where I have a group of people who have purchased from me in the past, but not, let's say, in like 18 months. So they are my customers, but for whatever reason, I have not been able to interest them in purchasing from me in a considerable length of time. So my goal is to try to get those customers to buy something from me again so that I can reintroduce them to my company and try to engage them again. Clearly, for some reason, they stopped being engaged. Maybe the product didn't work the way they expected it to. Maybe they didn't take it the way they should have. They didn't derive the benefit that they expected to get, or they got it and put it in the cabinet and forgot it was there. So my goal there is to take an older customer, let's say, again, 18 months in this business is a long time, and to get them engaged enough to order something from me again. But what I know is that if I just send them my regular offer that my acquisition customers get, my acquisition people get, they may buy, but for the most part, I want to create something special for them. So right now, I'm trying to craft offers that are like either I'll send you a free bottle of product, just cover the shipping and handling. I have offers that are buy one, get two free, or buy three, get three free. So really heavy, good, we call them mafia offers that, are very enticing and hard to pass up. So by setting goals, that's what I mean. Like, look at the, you might want to look at the situation at hand and say, okay, what do I want this person to do? And then you craft your messages around that. So, for instance, with the example of trying to re-engage an old customer, I might send them an email that says, hey, I haven't heard from you for a while. Here's this brand new product, and here's all the great things about it and why it's going to be of benefit to you and how you're going to feel after you take it. And oh, hey, by the way, I'll send it to you for free if you just pay the shipping, right? And then if they don't respond to that, I could create a series of, hey, did you not see this? Or last chance, if you know, a countdown of some sort, you have 3 more days, you have 2 more days, you have 1 day, this offer's expiring, you know, things to create urgency. So hopefully that answers the question.
It does. It answers it very thoroughly.
Okay.
Here's another one.
Awesome.
Julie, do you ever ask a customer for their review of the product they bought?
Oh gosh, if I could only, if I did have a camera, I could show you. Yes, we do. We ask for testimonials on a regular basis. That's a great point. That is another, that actually is another slide I could add. So yes, we ask for testimonials on a regular basis so that we can use those testimonials in our promotions. Now, we ask for them typically now in hard copy, so they go out in our reorder letters and our reorder attempts. So let me see here, let me get up there. This is, okay, so they might go out in a letter like this. The current one we're doing is part of a reorder campaign, so it essentially offers, it makes them a nice offer to reorder the product, but then we also ask them to tell us what they think, and we'll send them a free bottle of product. So when we started doing this, I was a little skeptical that people, if you offered them a free bottle of product, that they would actually order anything from you, but I was quickly proven wrong, as is not unusual. And it actually became our best performing panel. So people were actually ordering products, reordering the product that they wanted, and sending us a testimonial, while at the same time, in many cases, requesting a free bottle of a different product that we sell. So they received a reorder offer for BP. They reordered BP, and then they filled out a testimonial for BP, and then they said, oh, hey, by the way, please send me a free bottle of your Peak liver support. So right there telling me, hey, I really like your product. I'd like to try this other one. And then my hope would be that we could set up a campaign for all those people that came in and they did that. They reordered the product that they were currently taking. They requested a different product. So then we could actually set up a nice campaign to market the other product to them as well. So they've like literally self-identified and said, send me more information, sell me this one next, which is an amazing thing. Makes it a lot easier.
Much easier. All right, we're sort of at time, but I'm just do another quick question or two, and then we're going to let Julie go because she is running this company here. Julie, what types of inserts do you include with a customer's order? Do you do thank you letter, upsell, cross-sell? What do you typically include or recommend?
Good question. Another slide for sure. We do actually do, that's a huge, first of all, I'll say, that's a huge missed opportunity. So for everybody who does and orders by mail, make notice of that. Make notice of how many companies that they order from that actually do include some additional information about one of their products. You'll find it to be a small percentage, and it's a huge missed opportunity. So we do a number of things. It's, again, setting goals. It just depends. We do multiple product catalogs, so straight, full catalogs. We do our whatever sale promotions we might have at any given time. So I think I showed you, let's see, I'm going this way. This is a postcard. So I may do a fulfillment version of a postcard. If I have a product that I have an excess volume of, I might do a blowout of an individual product. I've done full promotions, like going all the way back to the beginning, where everybody who did not order blood pressure product would then receive the direct mail promo. So it really runs the gamut. And again, it's a goal thing. So if the goal is to introduce your customers to a new product, I just launched a new digestive support product. So a great opportunity would be to take the direct mail promo, the Slim Jim 32 pages, and put it into the fulfillment of every other product and introduce it to all of our existing customers. Or if I have an excess, I might do a blowout. If I am trying to just do retention and generate a large volume of sales and revenue, I might do a combined sale promotion. I had a vision support product that I needed to move some inventory. We did a buy two, get one free that did exceptionally well. So it just really runs the gamut. You have to kind of look at the circumstances of what you have going on in your business and decide according to what might be happening at any given time. But it is an excellent, overlooked opportunity. It works exceptionally well.
Okay, we're going to let you go with one last question. If somebody wants to write for you for Peak Pure and Natural, do they go to the website? Is there any process you prefer so you're not inundated?
Probably the best, I'm trying to think of what the best way to reach me is with so that I am not inundated. It's hard for me to take samples just because of the volume of work. A lot of times I meet people at boot camp, or I'll meet people through various different contacts that I have. Denise, maybe we can figure out a way to do that.
We can. Maybe we can create a spec opportunity for boot camp or post one from last year. Something that makes sense for you, Julie. We'll look into that, Tony, and the rest of you folks. I just want to thank you for joining us today, everybody. And let's all give a big round of applause to Julie McManus for this excellent real-life training exercise. I see some people raising their hands in a form of clapping. Thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you, guys. Have a great afternoon. Appreciate the time.
You as well. Bye for now.